Got a new recording going, and again we'll keep coming back and checking if people have got questions for us. When we go back here and look at our question for this part of the activity, I've done the section on formulas, I've done the formatting, I'm now at the charting section, this part just here. So let's have a look at it. The first one is create a line chart to display the dates against the minimum temperatures. Create a line chart to display dates against both minimum and maximum temperatures. And then it says create a column chart to display dates against rainfall. So I've introduced a different type of chart, but basically that's three different charts. Now here's the sneaky one for you. It's the last one. Create a chart that combines both 2 and 3 onto the one chart. This is where it gets a bit clever. But once I show you how to do this, you're going to find heaps and heaps of situations where you can apply this. It is a really good feature in Excel charting. So let's go back and have a crack at it. First one, create a line chart showing the dates compared to minimum. So I'm just going to highlight the dates for starters, that one just there. Now, a little shortcut for you. After you've highlighted something, if you attempt to highlight something else, do you notice you lose the first highlight? So what you do is this, highlight starting with the column heading, because that's going to help you with your legends. Get right to the bottom of it, and then hold Control on your keyboard. Now when you hold Control on the keyboard, it allows you to select what they call non-contiguous sets of data, or separate sets of data. So it's just holding Control as you do the other selection. Now I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert, it asks me for a line chart, and I can choose whatever sort of line chart I want. I'm pretty boring, I'm just going with the basic type. And straight away I've got a chart coming up. So there's my first chart that shows just the minimum temperatures. I'm going to come back to this one later on and show you what we can do in terms of fine-tuning that. Because I'll be honest, that's not a very good chart. This is why I want to step away from just standard charts.
Can I just ask a question?
Yep, of course you can.
For the second bit, when you highlighted the next column, what did you hold down?
Control on the keyboard, and for you on an Apple, it'll be your command button. Yep. Okay, second one, it wanted to see another chart showing both the date. Now you notice I always pick up the column heading. The reason I do that is because it gets you all your legends worked out. And now I'm going to hold Control and get minimum. I'm going to hold Control again and I'm going to get the maximum. So now I've actually effectively got three different areas highlighted. And now if I go Insert and choose a line chart, I'm hoping it's going to come out and give me a combination, one chart that shows both minimum and maximum temperatures in one place. Now, here's the advantage. By me selecting that column heading, do you know it picked up the legend for me automatically? And that's a good time saver. I'll show you what the most common thing that ever goes wrong with charts, and I see this one all the time. People come along and do this, they highlight the date, including the column heading, and then they hold Control, but they forget to get the column heading for the other one. And I want to show you how badly this chart can go. Let's just go and insert a line chart. Can you see it completely scrambles your chart right from the word go? That is the most common mistake you'll ever see in charts. Now, if you ever see a chart come up and throw a totally unpredictable result, and you think that doesn't make any sense at all, my prediction is 80% of the time, if you go back and look at your selections of data in the first place, that's where your problem will be. I'm just going to delete that one. Get rid of it. Okay, let's just quickly check for any quick questions on that one. Joe's got a quick question coming up, and Sue may as well. So it sounds like people have been a little bit nervous about Excel. All right, Sue's feeling all right about it. Okay, so again, what I'm trying to do is show you some of the common mistakes and what I feel are some of the best features. Let's move on and have a look at the difficult chart to do. Now, what I want to do is this. I want to create a chart that has all my data on it in one go. So I want this bottom chart, that one, plus I want to show my rainfall. So I'm just going to show you the rainfall chart for starters. I'm just highlighting day. Again, I'm going to hold control and get my rainfall. Take note, I've deliberately made sure that I've got the column heading, and I'm going to insert a column chart, I think it was this time. And there's my rainfall. Now, here's the thing that I want to achieve. I want to combine this column chart for the rainfall with the minimum and maximums as a line chart. And we can do that. It actually is not even that hard to do. But the funny thing is, you know, the vast majority of people were never aware how easy it was, so they never bothered having a look. It's actually a really simple trick. I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm just going to get rid of that one. So what I'm going to do is go back to my selection of data. I'm going to get everything. I'm going to get date. And again, I'm just using control. I'm going to get my minimum.
But George, you can't select the whole thing like you did before where you just clicked on everything at once. You have to do each column
most of the time you can. I've got to have it, I always select them separately, and I'll tell you the reason why. It guarantees that it picks up the right set of data in one go and doesn't get confused about which is being used for what axis. So let's just go and choose over here. I'm going to insert that as a line chart. Let's see what we come up with. Now straight away, here's my solution. I'm actually almost there, aren't I? But here's where I'm going to change it. Do you see the green one? That's obviously the rainfall. Can you see there's a lot of zeros there? So I'm just going to click on the green part. And you see it's now highlighted. And now I'm going to right click on that. And I'm going to change the series chart type. Just going to click on it. And I'm going to change that to a column. You're going to see what I mean about how easy this trick is.
Why not?
And look at that. So, okay, this is about weather records. And you might think, oh, yeah, big deals about weather records, I don't care. But what you need to be thinking about is, okay, how could I apply that exact same principle to another large set of data that I need to show people and get them to understand?
Maybe I can do that with my electricity bill.
You can do that with your electricity bill. Hey, in actual fact, when you get your electricity bill, don't they now have charts on there showing you your trends?
Yeah, they do.
Because you know what bottom line is? You can show people rows and columns of data anytime you want to, but what you need to do is show them diagrams to represent it, because until they can visualise it, they're not going to get there. So, let's have a look at one other feature before we save this one away. It's got the legend working out all right, it's got the dates working out. What I wanted to do is this. I wanted to have a look at how, at the moment, it's got all the scale over here together. Now, in this case, it's not too bad. Whether it's talking rainfall millimetres or temperature in Celsius, it fits pretty well. But what would happen if we'd had a rainfall of 200 mils or something like that, like a flood event? What would happen is your scale here would be completely out of control and all of your temperatures would be packed into a very small space.
Can you alter one of the numbers in the columns there and see what happens?
We can click on those and we can format that, but here's a nice trick for you. If I click on again those, let's just click off that, I just want to make sure I get the right date. Let's click on the actual rainfall and then right click. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to format the data series, this option here. Now when I go and format the data series, do you see one of the options here is the primary axis or the secondary axis? Now when I just tick that, let me just pull this aside, because I want you to see the result of that. Now let's put it over. Actually it's done it already. Can you see as soon as I made that the secondary axis, can you see that the rainfall's actually come over to the right-hand column. And our temperatures are over here in the left-hand column. So straight away you have the ability, where you have quite separate sets of data in terms of scale, we can actually get that formatted up that way. So this is again one of those situations, until you have a need to explain or visualise data to people, you would probably never think to do that. But I'll tell you what, when you've got a need to show people data and get them to understand the trends and what it really means, you have a lot of options that you can use. So I'm just going to quickly jump back over here, and I'm just going to stop the recording at that point. The last point that I wanted to make to you is that there are lots and lots of other options there, and the help menu is really good, but that's enough to get you started for now for you to practice on. So I'll stop the recording and we'll take a few quick questions.